So I just want to talk about like education for a little bit, right? I mean, obviously, being that you've juggled essentially three different things, right? I mean, obviously on the marketing side, you studied marketing in school. On the medical
Mhm.
side, obviously you have to study what you're doing in the medical side, and then obviously with the fashion, it's a whole totally different monster. So, what books could you like tap into your memory to say books that helped you to get to where you are currently
Love
right
that.
now?
So I'm looking at my library over there. Got a whole bunch of good ones. Okay. There's certain books that we there's all right, there's a few that stand out to me. I would say one that I personally loved was Shoe Dog. Shoe Dog is written by was it Phil Knight? I believe Phil Knight, right? Yeah, Phil Knight, the founder of Nike. And basically just shows you a kid who was kind of just trying to find himself, a bit lost, got screwed over time and time and time again, and overcame so many obstacles that you're just like, man, this guy's relentless. And you look at the, I look at the, I always listen. I'm a sneakerhead, man. I have more sneakers than I know what to do with, but like I love Nikes, and I look at it now. I have a whole newfound respect for Nike after seeing all of the obstacles they overcame. And I think that's true with anything, right? Like
Yeah.
when you hear of the obstacles that anyone goes through, you have a newfound respect for them. Even like someone who's like an antagonist, typically like the Joker. You hear the joke, like you watch the movie The Joker, and you hear the Joker's story. Joker's a bad guy, but you get to know their story. You're like, oh, I kind of get you now. So I think when people know like really who you are, and people like be like, oh, I understand you. I understand why you are the way you are. And I say that because also use that for business. Like I alluded to earlier, when you're like going through your stuff, you don't have to give 5-minute videos on, keep it short. But like, hey, today I'm going through this. This is the deal today. Here's what we're going through. Keep you posted on the next one. Someone just may or may not watch 60 seconds of what you just had to say. And like, yeah, I support that dude. Like, good for him. I kind of know a little bit about his background. So getting to know about the Nike background, I'm like, wow, you went through all that. Newfound respect for a company I already had an appreciation for. Shoe Dog is a very big one. A book I read in okay, so there's a couple. This it's almost become people almost roll their eyes when they hear this one because it's become so watered down. It's a little generic, and some might even say basic, but that's just because of how it's been branded.
Mhm.
But the thought process behind it, nothing could be truer. So The Secret is one of those books where, yeah, it can be a little fluffy for some people. People are like, you're just gonna manifest checks in the mail and all these things. And I get why people feel that way. And you might not like the book, The Secret, and that's okay. But manifestation, visualization, law of attraction, these are universal truths. You can accept it or you could choose not to accept it. I suggest you accept it, learn about it, and see how to make things come into fruition into your world. That is the foundation of getting what you want in this world, whether you choose to go the route of the Secret brand or some other countless books written about the law of attraction. Once you understand that, it'll change your life. So I almost hesitate to say The Secret, but anything regarding the law of attraction will change your world. And just looking here, I mean, this is not really a business. Hmm, I have so many, man. It's so funny because I look at this giant library of books that I love. I think one that was very, very powerful that I read more recently. It's a very slow read, and I'm a New Yorker, as are you, and we can't help but be a little bit impatient at times. So to read this very slow book is painful,
That's an
but the
understatement.
power, oh my God, man, exactly. Power of Now is a really, really powerful book.
Okay.
Just kind of just learning to slow down a little bit, which is something I'm constantly working on. It's almost like sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. And it really walks you through that, and it just touches on things that are just like almost hurt my brain reading because they're so deep. But that requires a few reads, but it's a very slow move, but it's extremely powerful. So I say those three.
Wow. Wow. So I mean, just taken from like the books you're reading, you're talking about like the secret and the laws of attraction. With that, right? I mean, if you're talking into reality and you're communicating like the success of your current new adventure, which is your business, who would be your ideal avatar? Who are you talking to? Who are you looking for that you want to be walking down the street, see them on the train one day wearing your product and don't even know that you created it?
Right. Right. Very cool. So I'd say a young professional, probably if we said avatar,
Mm.
I'd say, and again, anyone can wear a pocket square. You could be 12 to 112. You know what I'm saying? It primarily men, although we do have females who have been asking to wear it, and I'm all for it. But avatar, I would say someone who's in his 30s, early 30s, um, single guy, wanted to make his mark on the world,
Mm.
on the prowl, has a little bit of that kind of chip on his shoulder of like, I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm getting there, and wants to just stand out a little bit extra and wants to do just that little extra to stand out. And that's where we help, because you can take two people wearing the same thing. Oh, Anthony's dressed nice. Anthony cares about details.
Mm.
It's the attention to detail that makes all the difference. And we're that little bit extra that we can provide. And now when you have a friend who gives you that little extra, when you have an employer that gives you a little extra that you appreciate, when you're in a relationship and that person gives you a little extra, we notice. And people form an opinion on someone. I read this in Entrepreneur magazine. Within 5 seconds, people make their opinion based off your appearance and how you were well put together. Of Anthony's a well-dressed dude that cares about the details, or Anthony's kind of a slob, or Anthony doesn't really care. He's super casual, so we can help. So if you are trying to go into an environment that calls for a jacket anyways, right? If you're going to an occasion that requires a jacket and you want people to look at you in a certain way of like you care about the details, you're that type of person, that's where we fit in and that's where we can help.